6:07 now. There's another book causing controversy in our upstate schools. The latest one in Pickens County.
There is, but this isn't the first book debate for this district. Fox Carolina's Christy Waite has been following all of this since it began and has these latest developments for us.
Hey, good morning. So the book in question is called Dear Martin, and some parents say they're concerned about swearing in the book, while other parents say the real debate is over the fact that it deals with racial profiling. And we were there last night during the Pickens County School Board meeting when a vote was held. The district review team recommended the book not be part of assigned reading or class or even book clubs, but they did recommend students be allowed to pick up the book from the teacher's classroom library on their own if they choose, as long as they have a parent's permission form that's signed. Some say this was the right move, but others believe the board needs to focus on different issues.
What should not be taught is that profanity is necessary to get a thought across. What should not be taught is that objectifying women and girls as sexual objects is okay.
Students of color in Pickens County schools have been and are subjected to racial harassment and racial taunting that has gone unaddressed for years. Yet, you're not meeting to discuss those issues, but you question a book that deals with the very themes of racial inequity, harassment, and social justice that is a concern of students of our district.
So the board voted 6-1 to approve the new restrictions. Now, if you remember, back in September, the school board voted to take a book titled Stamped Racism, Anti-Racism, and You off a 10th grade reading list after parents said it taught critical race theory, and no one spoke in favor of the book at a meeting. That later grabbed the attention of the ACLU, saying the move raised constitutional concerns. And to see our previous coverage on book debates, you can visit our website at foxcarolina.com. In the studio, Christy Waite, Fox Carolina News.